Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction from March Comes In Like a Lion, chapter 158. This is our first live reaction for March. When we last left off, we had an in-depth look of Nobidome Azusa, who is Rei's newest opponent, who was seen as a genius in high school, and kept up as this kind of prodigy of shogi. Before, much like the bald guy in the Newcomer King arc, he was outdone by Rei and Harunobu, and now is kind of a little bit envious of them and a little bit frustrated, the concept of genius. There was a lot of stuff going on in that chapter. But now he's about to have his actual match with Rei, so let's jump right on into chapter 158, Azusa number 1, part 3. On our cover picture is looking out a door onto the city. From that silence, a view of the bustle of the city. Kiriyama Rei versus Nobidome Azusa now begins. So we're back in Nobidome's head, right back from the start. I've read them. Kiriyama's game records. I've gone through them again and again and again. A stable, bright person. A hare who doesn't get conceited, and we see the images of the game records kind of floating around Nobidome and falling onto Rei. As for a weakness, he doesn't have any in particular. As for a favorite strategy, he doesn't have any in particular. If I had to compare him to something, he's like a curious ghost. Okay. If you said, how about we go to the mountains, he'd go to the mountains. If you said, how about we go to the beach, he'd go to the beach. He'd just silently flutter along with you. I mean, he's not wrong. So, let me test something. How about this? And he moves a shogi piece. I should clarify, given this is my first March video. I know nothing about shogi. And one of the things about March is that what matters is rarely the details of the game itself. So it's not exactly a wall not knowing about shogi to watch March. Or to read March, but yeah. So I don't know. So when Rei calls it a kaku exchange, I think, does kaku mean silver? I think, no, that's like gin, my bad. And keen is what I was thinking. Keen I think is gold. So I don't know what a kaku exchange is. When it comes to kaku exchanges, research is everything. Who wins and who loses depends entirely on who's done better research. My inviting him into this kind of game is me saying I'm fully prepared. That I've got full confidence in my research. So how are you going to react, Kiriyama? A kaku exchange. Let me think. That one is... and we see in Kiriyama's mind, he's in a black pool of water with game records of all these different moves that I'm not going to all read out because they all mean nothing to me. But he picks up the kaku exchange. This one? And he has a vision of himself playing against Harunobu. Kaku exchange with loss of tempo. Yeah, this is it. And he moves the next piece. As I expected. He wouldn't turn down an opponent's suggestion. You've got quite a lot of confidence in your abilities, huh? Despite knowing you might be thoroughly prepared and have lots of traps waiting for you. There's a saying that curiosity killed the cat. But, if we lose curiosity, our world starts getting closed off. So this fluttering ghost is right. Oh, I guess he can't die if he's a ghost, huh? Whatever. There goes that metaphor. Okay, that's all the praise you're getting from me. Here we go, the fruits of my research, activate! Azusa number 1, leaving the station. And Nobidome's first name, which I mentioned, is also Azusa. I don't know if Azusa's just also a train line, but there's the metaphor he has of him starting the train. And he puts his next piece down, and Rei thinks about it. A cave jumping in all on its own, huh? That's not a formation you see too often. But in my research, I looked into lots of ways the game can branch off from here. Playing 4-4 Gin here to advance seemed like the most natural option. But the move that seemed natural only ended up having good results around 30% of the time, so even if it puts me in the worst strategical position, and Rei moves his piece back. He retreated? Isn't that a bad place for me to be putting that Gin? Normally you push forward here, wouldn't you? Well, that's my immediate reaction at least. And now, Nobidome is going into this whole mindscape of, candy and lollipops and flower and balloons and stars on his train. Of course, if you stick to normally and just act like how your opponent expects you all the time, you're just gonna lose. Yep. So in that sense, this is within my calculations. It's okay. Everything's okay. All is going as I expected. Okay, well then. And he moves his next piece forward. If you're retreating, then I'm advancing. I'm going to take full advantage. And Ray moves the same foo. Nobidome does the same he. I don't know what any of this means, I'm just going to read it out. And Ray moves his piece to where it's surrounded by other pieces. And Nobidome almost laughs at it. What is that? Was that 2-2 Gin before so we could drop the Kaku here? This is totally outside expectations now. Seriously, if he's going to do stuff like this, then is there any point to practice preparations and research at all? This kind of makes it seem like all that was a load of worthless crap. And now he just doesn't, totally turns everything off. I love how sudden, his mindscape is initially in the same kind of, black pools of water that Ray kind of inhabits. Then all of a sudden on page 8, he turns into this, Candyland shit as soon as things start going slightly wrong, and then he quickly tells himself it's actually going alright. But as soon as everything goes weird, and Ray makes a move he totally does not expect, he jumps into this, field of grass with butterflies and laughing and flowers. Okay, it's over. All those days I spent researching went right down the toilet. Utterly wasted effort, even a little star there. Well done, good job. Man, effort really is a crock of shit. Useless, all of it useless. Okay. And he kind of calms down after that rant. So what do we do now? I guess retreat? That's the move, right? But hey, look at that side foo going on there. And he sees one of, I'm assuming it's one of Nomidome's pieces. They could either go left and take one of Ray's or just retreat. If I flip the switch on that, everything's going to get going super quick. It'll end up like something out of Super Smash Bros, right? Won't it? I don't know what this has to do with Smash Bros, but alright. Oh, geez. And now he's back in his little, crazy mindscape. I don't have the stamina or mental fortitude for that. I'm the type of person that doesn't like to outwardly express that I'm putting in effort. And recently I've been pushing myself super hard on doing Kaku exchange research. If I'm being perfectly honest, I haven't been getting that much sleep at night either. I mean, just generally speaking, the whole effort and hard work thing isn't really in fashion right now. Like on social media, everyone says you shouldn't need to push yourself so hard that you really suffer. Everyone's on about being forced to work hard and turn out results is a mistaken ideology. But I'm a shogi player. Effort done without any guarantee it'll pay off in preparation is all too easy rendered utterly useless, are all things I'm choosing to do completely on my own. And Nobidome has come back to his senses, he's done with all of that, who gives a shit from the last page. I've never once enjoyed working hard, but on the game board it's always life or death, and I don't like dying. So that only leaves me one choice. I don't know where all this effort I've painstakingly built up has brought me, but I'm going to trust in my shogi ability. Here we go. Azusa number 2 has left the station, and he makes his next move as the chapter ends, but we'll be back in only 2 weeks, and we're not waiting a whole month like we have for the past couple chapters. So yeah, that's 158. Some more time spent primarily in Nobidome's head, which is just continuing, kind of what March has been doing for many, many years now, but I'm only now getting the chance to talk about. It's deep love of giving us all of the details on, every single player Ray meets one time, once. I don't know if Nobidome will ever be an important character, but March doesn't care. It's just going to give us all of the shit about him that we can. That being said, Nobidome is a character I think I appreciated more last chapter than I did this one. This time it just seems kind of... Last chapter I kind of related... I kind of, understood or respected, the sense that he even brought up, that he's the new hot shit, the savior of shogi, and then he finds out that, Kiriyama and Harunobu are just gonna, whoop his ass all the time. And I kind of got that struggle and why he'd be so, determined to bring down Kiriyama. All the stuff about, who gives a shit about hard work? That didn't quite land as well for me, I think. Which is kind of the risk with a lot of March's storytelling tactics. If a character doesn't really click for a reader, that chapter is just not going to work at all. At least in these kind of focused on the enemies chapters. But yeah, beyond that, even though a good thing about March, unlike some other series I'm reviewing, Butler, Umino is really good at utilizing all of her really small page counts. We have in this 12 pages, a good bit of the match is done, I think. Again, my lack of knowledge of shogi means I don't know how a match really, really flows, or how how a match ends, I should say. Or like how to tell when a match is in its endgame. Like there's not a score. But yeah, it still feels like we made a fair bit of progress on the match. And yeah, beyond that, it's a fine chapter. It's nowhere near the show at its best. But it's still a pretty good chapter. The art's great, of course. We got some good progression. The use of Nobidome is like oscillating between the dark pools of water and like Candyland is a really effective gag, I think. Even if it didn't quite get me to relate to Nobidome, it was still funny. But yeah, beyond that, I don't think I have too much to say for this chapter. It's just one part of a longer match, so when the next chapter comes out in a couple weeks, there'll probably be a lot more to say about it. Maybe the match will be over next time, maybe it won't, but either way, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed this chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like, or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy. And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!